Never seen a lame man walk. Never heard a dumb man talk. Never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a cancer dead. Never seen all the poor get fed. Never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name. Broken heart made whole. Never seen an orphan find a home. Never seen the weak find the strength. I promise you will change his name. Never seen the sick get it.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's bigger T, and I'm here with my man Big C, representing with the Yoda shirt.
Got the hoodie on. It is officially hoodie weather.
It's hoodie weather, baby.
It's hoodie weather.
And I'm in for it.
Well, you know, Arkansas, it goes, for those of you that are listening, I think we got somebody listening from Germany.
Yeah, well,
You don't know who it is. It's probably
an accident.
probably a creepy person that just.
What did I click on?
He Googled fat guys and he come up with us. So,
that's right, yeah.
He's like, what is the most mediocre podcast with two fat guys in Arkansas? And bingo, bango, your boys.
Top of the Google search right here.
Top of the Google search, just number one. So we, as we should be, honestly, because we all, as we've discussed before, we are Paul Feinbaum endorsed.
That's right. Unofficially.
Not officially, but he loves us.
Yeah.
Listens every week. That's that. Anyway, but you know, it's that weird time. Arkansas, we skip for y'all, the state. We skip fall altogether.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Straight from summer to winter, like boom,
that's right.
Hit you, it just punches you in the face, like,
right in the face.
Right in the face. You get
right in the keister.
So like you go now, you got to warm up the car a little bit before you get out. You got to go out there and shiver.
Yeah.
And then by noon, you want to walk around in t-shirts and a tank top, you know, and shorts, because you're so hot. But we're about to go. We're going summer, winter, fall. Then we'll go back to winter, and then straight into probably summer. Then
we're gonna have a little bit of spring pop up here.
It's called.
It's gonna get to be like 75 here for a few days, and then who knows?
I'm like weather. Go home. You're drunk.
That's right.
So.
Well, Clint, man, we just got through with Halloween. Did you have any candy for Halloween?
I did it. I've actually been trying to watch the diet a little bit better, do a little bit better. Try to follow your lead. You've lost over 100 pounds. I'm very proud of you. It's awesome. I'm happy you didn't do it when I had the bet to get a tattoo on my derriere.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, look out for your boy there.
If you want to hear about that, watch some of the earlier episodes, but go back in the vault. Well, I'll tell you, Clint, it was tough. At my church, you know, we did like a trunk or treat type deal, except we moved it inside because it was cold last night. And so but I challenged my people. I said, look, let's not be that church that gets all the cheap candy. I said, when you go to the candy rack, get kids' eye level and above. Okay. Right. Don't get that bottom shelf, you know.
Yeah, don't buy what I buy.
The non-name brand, like you can't pronounce, you know, I mean, like we don't know what it is. It's just wrapped in a wrapper thing. Okay. Get the name, let's get the good stuff. Okay. And as the leader, I wanted to lead by example. So I went to Walmart. And I pick up groceries for my mom every week. And so I just do like through the app, do the pickup or whatever. And so I added some candy in so I could have it for Halloween. And I got the boxes of full-size candy bars. Okay. I got like a box of M&Ms, box of like the candy bars, like Twix, and Snickers. And then
how many kids do they have? They have like 7 kids.
Well, okay, there wasn't very many. Like we got like half the candy left. We're gonna have to do something else with it later. Okay. But still, like I got all this candy, okay, and it's sitting in my truck because I just left it in my truck because if I brought it in my house, I was gonna be tempted with it. But then I was tempted with it because it's in my truck and I got a 30-minute commute to work every day one way. So an hour in my truck every day with it sitting just right there where I could just reach back there and grab.
Oh, it's got to be awful.
One bag of peanut butter M&Ms. It's all I ate.
No, that's good.
And I didn't have lunch that day. So I considered that my lunch.
No, Travis,
I did pretty good.
So out of curiosity.
Yeah.
When if Travis Johnson right now was a kid.
Yeah.
And you reach down in that basket or that jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, the little plastic jack-o'-lantern thing.
And pull out a candy. Which one do you want the most? What is your go-to? Like, what are you the most excited about?
No question.
Yeah.
Butterfinger.
Oh, really? The answer surprises me.
Butterfinger.
See, I was telling you before we went on the air, I was watching New Heights today, and like they had Jason sampling some Halloween candy and saying which one was best, and he was like, the Reese's pumpkins.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. I have and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something I don't eat. I won't go buy it myself because if I'm hungry, I'll buy myself a Reese's or peanut butter M's. But something I only eat when they're like in a Halloween that I freaking love are dots.
Really?
I love me some dots.
Now my other one is the like the candy corn, but the pumpkins.
Oh, I love
the pumpkin ones because you can get those in like a bag of the pumpkins, in like a small bag. And I do get me usually one bag of those per season.
Yeah. No, one suggestion they had on there that the listeners had sent in was to mix them with the like candy corn with peanuts.
Yeah. And then also candy corn with popcorn is good too.
Yeah. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But
no, it's pretty good. It's you kind of get that sweet and salty mix, which as I've gotten older, I appreciate sweet and salty, like blending those two together. I appreciate that a lot more. Salted caramel, like cookies and stuff like that. And yeah, man. But no, Butterfinger and Reese's cups are always great. I mean,
but the texture, like for the shapes, like the Christmas trees, the pumpkins, the texture is completely different than the cup.
It is, yeah. It
really is. And I honestly like the texture better.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but
I'm not going to turn either one of them away.
So Travis, I think I've been doing the farming thing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I found my limit.
Uh-oh.
And I grew up farming, so like I grew up, so it's not a big deal to me.
Your grandpa had a farm you lived right next door, so
yeah. So I pretty much worked on it all the time. So so I'm not. It's not a foreign concept to me to raise my own meat. So I decided that I want to do a whole hog smoke. Built the pit, everything, and of course. Paul Clark knows a guy that knows a guy to let me get the whole hog processed. Because I was going to have to drive to Memphis to do it because no one around here does it because you've got to, pretty much you got to get the hair off basically.
Yeah.
All are big enough.
Yeah.
So, and keep in mind, I've eaten hundreds of pigs that I've raised. Like doing a whole hog smoke with a pig I raised, smoking him whole, that bothered me.
It's a different ball game, I'm guessing. You look down on there and you recognize the face of what you're about to eat.
Well, we had to cut the head off to get him in the. But also, I was like, it didn't help that he was a sweet pig.
Yeah.
He was like just the nicest, like, and what was funny was we built a chute.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got the dog crate and in there and we trapped him in the chute and he was I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to fight to get him in this dog crate.
Yeah.
So we got him like cornered in a section, and I just reached over, set the dog crate in there, and he just like, "Hey, what's up in here?"
Just walked in.
Walked right in. I'm like, okay.
So went away easy, huh?
It went so easy. Like the only thing we had to do was lift him up to put him in the trailer. So it was. So yeah, if I do it again, I'm not saying I won't do a whole hog smoke again, but what I'll probably do is offer to trade somebody.
Yeah.
Where I'm not
for a similar size hog or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because man, it just that's
they don't prepare you for that in farming school, do they?
No, I'm like, man, I want to try this, and so I built the pit and everything, and
it'd be different if you had gotten him processed and he was in just packages from the meat packing plant or something like that. Yeah. You don't think about it, but when you're looking at him and you're like, this thing was just wandering around in my yard
2 days ago.
Yeah. And now I'm firing him up. Yeah.
I'm firing him up and serving him, digging through his skin to dig his meat out for my guests.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Clint, yeah. Well, did he taste good?
It was a different taste to it. I probably honestly prefer the processed, already cut up, I shoulder that way. But you don't know it until you try it. I probably would inject it a lot more next time, because I was trying to, because we started him at 5 in the morning, at 5:30, 6 in the morning, and it was pitch black, so you really couldn't see what you're doing. So I think it'd be better if I could have saw a little bit better, and probably did a little bit better job with the injection. So like I said, I'll probably try it again, but I'm not going to raise the pig myself.
Might inject him the night before or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like
let it sit, then finish it off in the morning or something. Just add a little extra something.
Yep.
Well, man, that's cool. Well, holy shnikes, Clint.
We going with the first NFL firing of the year?
The Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Woo.
Okay, now Josh McDaniels, he's a coordinator for a young guy, coordinator for Belichick. He goes to Denver, and people, he got fired from Denver. Okay, he didn't work out there, but the guy did win a playoff game with Tim Tebow at quarterback.
Yeah.
A guy no one else wanted at quarterback. He won a playoff game with him. Okay. And then against Pittsburgh. And then ends up getting fired later, whatever. They rehash him with the Raiders, which the Raiders like to rehash people. And the Raiders just can't get it done with him. He's gone.
Man, it's pretty early in the season to clean house.
And the offensive coordinator, yeah.
Yeah, offensive coordinator, GM, everything is like they're like, we're gonna have to go hard reset. And they're only 7 games into the season?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, but
that's the Raiders for you, man. The spirit of Al Davis is alive and well. He does what he wants to do.
Yeah, he just
his son's living it
out. Josh McDaniels he's sometimes you got to look at yourself and realize what my skill set is, and maybe he's just one of them guys that's better served being the number 2.
Yeah.
And who knows? You'll probably see him as an OC somewhere.
Yeah.
They may have him back in New England, but he got that head coaching money off Tom Brady's back twice. So
that's right. Yeah.
More power to you. I'm like, if they'll pay it to you, take it. And so he got to him, but hopefully he knows his lane now and stays more of a coordinator role. Now, last week we had Bart Reed on.
Yep.
And this third time we've had him on, and I thought it was the best one yet. I really, and I think us getting to know him getting to know us, I love having him on, and he obviously is very knowledgeable on the sport. But the part of the reason we had him on was because we had a little event called Arkansas versus Mississippi State. They played in football.
Yeah.
Chair broke. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
So y'all didn't. For those of you listening, Big C just pooped himself. So, but no, we had a little. So we had had a game between Mississippi State and Arkansas. And one of the things I was going to say about the Raiders is if you have the quarterback position figured out, you got a heads up.
Yeah.
When you have the guy that's the preseason #1 quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah.
Going against the team without its record-setting quarterback, who's literally considered by most the worst team in the SEC outside of Vanderbilt, and you put up exactly 3 points that the defense pretty much gave you.
Yeah.
It is inexcusable.
Yep.
Inexcusable. And one of the things I think, and I've read between the lines on some of Pittman's press conferences. And you may tell you what I've read between those lines.
What's that?
We've been working on crap to work around or struggles, and we get in the game and Dan ain't calling it.
Yeah.
That is what he's saying, because he's like, guys, we worked on it.
Yeah.
And like going back to the A&M game, because they didn't do anything we didn't work on. He goes, we got to roll out more. We got to do this more. We got to move KJ. We can't just sit back there and drop back. And it's like Dan, I don't know if Dan thought the personnel was magically going to get better. You've got to do things to mask your personnel's deficiencies. And we weren't doing it. But, Pittman's a savvy veteran.
Yeah.
Savvy veteran. I mean, he comes with the old country boy stick, and, he'll sell you, he can sell you and make you think why he loves you while he's selling you.
Yeah.
That's but Pittman also knew that was an unacceptable performance and something had to change.
Well, and Clint, I still think, okay, I'm still firing Enos was the right move. Okay, so don't get me wrong here.
No, 110%.
But I'm going to say too, part of the problem was the players wasn't getting it, because KJ's better than what we saw out there. A lot of the problems KJ's having, KJ's bringing on himself. The line has not, if you look back at some of those games, the Mississippi State game, the line did not block as bad as what it looked like. KJ was holding on the ball too daggone long. Now, some of that was KJ may not understand the play very well, and Enos is not calling plays that KJ's comfortable with. I think that's a big part of it. I think part of it is now, I'm not saying the line blocked well. Okay, please don't mishear me. I'm not saying our line has done great, but they've not done giving up 7 sacks a game great, terrible. Okay. Some of those KJ has brought on himself. Some of those were running backs not making the right reads. So of course we know what happened. Pittman fires Enos, moves in, what's his name?
Kenny Guyton.
Sorry. Guyton in to be the quarterback coach, which he played quarterback at Ohio State, which everybody kind of knows that, but if you didn't, and you have, one of the, his assistant wide receivers guy moves up to receivers coach, and everybody seems real happy with what's happened these last 2 weeks. Players, coaches.
Yeah. You can see a difference in the vibe of the team. And Pittman said today, you can see in the way they practice.
What do you think? What do you think is going to be different in the offense this week? Or are we going to see much differences? Are we going to see still a struggling? Because look, y'all, it's middle of the season, or for the backside of the season. We may not see much change. That's a possibility.
I think you're going to see more focus on your what, 8 games into it now? 8 games into it. You're 2/3 of the season's played. It hasn't gone your way. So, but Pittman's had a week to look at and say, okay, here's what we do well. Now let's simplify this. So let's simplify this and focus on what we're doing well. It is still grinding my gears to no end that we're 8 games into this season. And I'm still sitting here going, why aren't they giving AJ Green the ball?
Yeah.
He should. I mean, it's more frustrating than TJ Hammond's. It really,
especially in the games where he's doing well.
Yes.
That's to me, okay, if he's not doing well that game, then fine. Ride with somebody else. But in those games where he's your best running back, he's your best option, and he's not getting the ball, I don't get it. You're right.
No, but I think to Pittman's credit goes, okay, I've got to turn this around or I'm going to get terminated. And Pittman doesn't want to get terminated by any stretch of the imagination. Pittman loves this job. He wants to be the head coach of the University of Arkansas. I believe him when he says, this is my last job. This is where I want to retire.
Yeah.
They can fire me, but I'm not quitting.
Yeah.
So I believe him when he says that this is where he wants to be. This is a dream job of his. Okay, what happens is sometimes you're everything's happy-go-lucky and you get punched in the mouth. And you've got to respond. Pittman's been punched in the mouth because the problem was last year a lot of it fell on Barry Odom in the defense. A lot of it did because this defensive secondary was horrid. Defense is pretty darn good this year. You know, he made the changes over there. So I think Pittman realizes changes got to be made here, and we've got to make them. We had to make them now. He got to pass a lot on last year because defense wasn't his department. He's taking a beating this year because the offensive line is his department.
Right.
And so I think you said that he's sitting in on all the offensive line meetings. He's a lot more involved because it doesn't look like Travis Williams needs it.
No.
Maybe check in with Travis. You've got to focus. He knows if he don't get this fixed, it could result in his termination.
Yeah.
I in no means I want Pittman here to the day he retires. I love Sam Pittman. I'm so happy he's our coach. I really, really am. But he knew, like, I've got to make a blood sacrifice right now.
Yeah. And
I just, sometimes you're in a situation and it just doesn't click. It doesn't work. Doesn't mean.
And Clint, I'm gonna go through what I think is gonna be different on the field.
Go ahead.
Okay. Because I think we're gonna see some different things on the field. And if we don't, then we're in for a long last 4 games. Okay. Yeah. Because here's the truth of the matter, folks. If the offensive line is as bad at playing football as everyone has said they've been, it doesn't matter what we do, we're still going to get killed in these next few games. That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
Now you can do some things to find some strengths in your weaknesses. Okay. You can get some quicker passes to get the ball out of KJ's hands quicker, things like that. Those things can help. Okay. If you can get KJ to do that, then you might. Okay. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to see everything simplified. KJ is not going to be making calls out on the field. Okay. He's going to go. Now remember, Guyton has been influenced by Kendall Briles. Okay. He's a Briles disciple. He's got a little bit of Enos from this year. And then he's got his days back in Ohio State. That's his 3 main influences right there that are on him. Right.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to see is, I think we're going to see the offensive line, the offensive guys are going to be looking toward the sideline a lot. And they're going to be looking for calls from the sideline because it's simplified. The coaches are going to be making calls.
Yeah.
So the offensive line doesn't get as confused as they've been. I've been saying all year that the problems with the offensive line is not necessarily that the players are that bad. It's that they're not communicating well.
Okay. You know, Pittman pretty much said that today in his press conference.
He said that exact thing in his press conference today. I mean, he didn't go into it because he didn't want to go any further, but he's like, I don't want to answer the rest of that, but yeah, good question. Okay. Go back and listen to it, folks. He pretty much said what I've been saying all the season, that the communication issues for this team is what's been the problem on offense. And so I think what they're going to do is they're going to have the communication is going to be from the coaches to the players. It's going to be like Gus Malzahn, like Kendall Browse. They're going to be prairie dogging it over there. Okay. They're going to be looking over and, or meerkat offense, whatever they used to call it, where those, they all look over at the same time, get the call from the coach, and the coach gets them lined up where they need to get lined up.
And that's where KJ thrives so much.
He does.
Play from the sideline, getting back up to the line, looking at it, get the next play, go.
That's what he's ran since high school. Now, The problem is the reason they, you may be saying, well, why hadn't they been doing that? Because when they brought Dan Enos in, part of the thing was, let's get KJ ready for the NFL. And the NFL doesn't do that. Okay. Yeah. The quarterback has to make those calls on the field. But right now, it's time you get rid of everything else and you go to whatever the strengths are of your players. And KJ's strength is letting those coaches make those calls for him, and him just getting out there and using his athleticism and his just being a stud quarterback and beating the other guys. And so I think that's what we're going to see. I think they said they've taken out 30% of the playbook. Okay.
Well, I mean, take out 75% of it, because if you have 100 plays and you suck at 75 of them, run 25 plays.
Yeah. Of course, the joke is they took out the 30% that Chad Morris got in while he was here.
Yeah.
Because he was like halfway through the season. He's got, we got about 30% of our playbook in.
Yeah.
But
you don't need all that, I think.
Yeah.
But now obviously we got a big game at Florida. One of our offensive linemen is going back home. Braun. Pittman says, he brought up today that never won at Florida.
Yeah.
Beat them Florida, but we beat them here.
Yeah.
So what's your prediction for the game, Travis? What do you think?
Man, I'm going to say we win it.
All right. I'm not going to pick a win, but I think you're going to see some fight.
I think you're going to see some fight, and I think I don't know, man. I like what I'm hearing from KJ in the interviews he's done this week, and the other players. I think our defense is going to go on the road and play well, and I think Florida, if you're going to beat them at the Swamp, this is the year to do it. I mean, I'm not saying they're terrible, but they're not Florida compared to what Florida's been. So yeah, man, I think we got a shot. I'm going to predict an all heart right here. Okay. This is all heart. This ain't logical. I'm going to say we go down there and beat them.
I wouldn't put it past them. I'm not going to pick them, but I wouldn't put it past them. But there is someone there's no question about his job security. That is one Eric Musselman.
O-E.
Can you call a preseason game an instant classic?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what it was. I would say if they're ranked in the top 4 consensus Final Four team. Now, Arkansas fans, you did what you do. You showed up and you showed out. You made a difference in that game. That game's at Purdue. I don't think Arkansas wins it, but it's at Bud Walton Arena. And we put on a show.
Clint, I don't think we played that great of a game. I think this team has better games in it. Yeah. I think there were still some instances where I saw this was a team that is learning to play together. and they still beat a number 3 team in the nation.
Well, and that's what's encouraging is Arkansas's chemistry is going to do nothing but get better. And I think, and by the way, I think I made the best point of anybody that's ever made a point last week when we had Bart Reed on, when I said, could you imagine if Nolan Richardson could have went and got a big man out of the transfer portal?
Oh, yeah.
Back when he had Joe Johnson and Brandon Deed. Like, you wouldn't even have to have a good one. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You could have just had a journeyman.
Hey, if Brazil, did you see him beat that 7-4 guy on the 2 jump balls in the game?
Yeah.
And Lawson, we didn't even talk about Lawson with Bart Reed, really. I think we may have brought him up, but we didn't talk a lot about him. My goodness, man. He's 6'7", has like a 7-foot wingspan, and is going to help down low. Like, if you would have told me that we shut down, or not shut down, but we played that well against the 7'4", Eddie or whatever that center was, and Mitchell didn't play very well at all and didn't play that much.
Yeah.
And our freshman, 6'10" guy didn't play at all. And
5-star.
A 5-star didn't play at all. Now, how about Layden Blocker, the little point guard from Little Rock? He looked good, man. Yeah. He came out there first thing, went right to the paint and threw up a shot over somebody. I mean, he looked good at point guard. L. Ellis was exactly what Bart talked about. I mean, was exactly who he said he was. We didn't really, our 3-point shooters didn't necessarily get hot. We didn't, Pinion or Davenport or the 2 guys that we expect to really heat up at 3. Brazil got a couple threes, but like I'm saying, man, it wasn't our best game. But the fans and these kids, I mean, they're playing hard, man, and they're playing smart. They're not a bunch of freshmen out there.
Honestly, what I thought this team, I really thought about what last year's team missed, because that was a talented team last year.
Oh yeah.
You can say Nick Smith was out for most of the year, but they also didn't have a JD Note.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we need a bucket here. Who's going to go get it? And, I know Bart was talking about Devo. I don't think Devo's ever going to be that guy.
No.
I think Devo's going to be your Harlan Bowers. He's going to be your heart and soul, going to play tough defense, going to give you everything you got to get everything out of his body. And he's going to lead the team, and he's going to lead it by example, maybe not so much vocally.
Mm.
But Trayvon Mark, that kid is a stud.
But see, Trayvon Mark is supposed to be just like Devo Davis as far as offensive skills go.
I think they may
he nailed that 3. But see, Devo's going to do that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's quite the scorer that Mark is going to be. I think, you're going to.
Yeah, I don't think Mark's going to be like that all year long.
Yeah, I disagree.
I think Mark's gonna get some scoring done, but I think he's gonna be up and down like Devo. I think Brazil's gonna lead this team in scoring. I think Ellis is gonna be up there. I think Battles will do well with scoring. I think some of the other guys are gonna sprinkle some in. But that was one, we got one game in. Okay. Now here I wanna throw right now the Flames burning hot. Okay. Everybody's ready, man. They're ready to buy Final Four tickets. Arkansas is going to win it all. Everything, right? I want to throw a little bit of water on the fire, Clint.
No,
a little bit, just a little bit. I know, but I want to speak a little truth. Okay, can I do that for you? Can I kind of bring us back to earth just a little bit? I know. Okay, you're giving me the mad face. I know.
Go ahead, Debbie Downer.
Okay, here I go. How did Purdue do in the tournament last year? How did they do?
Yep.
was they were number 1 seed and they got beat by
they
16, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, and it does happen, but we were
hardly ever happened.
Yeah, we were. Well, last year we went to the Sweet 16, and we got beat by 30 at Texas in an exhibition game.
Yeah.
And we all dismissed it, like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Then we're like, greatest team ever. So I get it. We have
now the other thing is that Purdue is totally opposite of us. And those are the type of teams, when you're as athletic as we are, that you tend to do well against, okay, in a situation like that.
Oh, I think it's definitely a good matchup for us. We did a good job on their 7'4".
Now, if they take the tempo, it can be where they smash us, okay? So we did a good job there. But, the SEC is deep and strong this year. Kentucky's looking better. Tennessee, Alabama's solid. Auburn's going to look good. Ole Miss is going to be better. I mean, Ole Miss with bearded Ole Miss could sneak in and shock the world. A&M, it's going to be good.
Does Ole Miss have the slimiest coaching?
They do.
With Beard and Kiffin. First of all, I love Lane Kiffin. I love it.
Yeah.
Because I'm also an internet troll. So I love Lane Kiffin.
But our boy Keith Carter, he's got the sketchiest, or at least the 2 big time coaches with the sketchiest backgrounds that are on the same college campus. But what I'm saying is we're gonna face some teams in the SEC that we're not gonna be a ton more athletic than.
Yeah.
Now that's where I'm really happy to have our coach going into those games. And I think this team's gonna lose some games in the SEC. Okay.
Well,
but it's still, man, it's for them to look that good this early in the season against that quality of an opponent. I'm excited too. Okay. So I'm just trying to bring a little bit of reality back in. Okay, folks, but I'm still excited about college basketball, man. I'm still excited about the Hogs. So I can't wait to see what ends up happening with them. It's going to be something special for sure.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I think, this is the team that could do it. I think Musselman feels that way. I felt like Bart Reed felt that way. Yeah. But man, there's a lot of tests on that schedule. There's a lot of tests, including coming in.
Well, we got the tournament in the Bahamas they're going to.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Arkansas basketball is in that conversation again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This is where for us that grew up in the 90s, this is where we were. This is where we've been trying to get back to.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to be back in the conversation. And that's kind of, and I say all this to wrap it up in a nice little bow, is remember where we were.
Oh, yeah.
Remember where we were. Even in football, remember where we were.
Yeah.
When you're bashing Sam Pittman, we're losing we lost a 7-point game we should have won to a Mississippi State team that's not that good. Or 4 points. We got drilled at home by Western freaking Kentucky.
Yeah.
So just remember it was when he found it. And I think Pittman's going to make those corrections.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about Musselman and seeing this season.
Yeah, me too, man. And going back to football, Clint, there's another little controversy going on that people are talking about a little bit with the football team, and it has to do with recruiting.
Okay.
The fact that Arkansas hadn't gone hard after some key Arkansas recruits. And the main one they're talking about is the Lindsey kid from Fayetteville. You familiar with him?
I'm not.
Okay, this is the son of John David Lindsey. Okay. his grandpa, John David, played tight end for the Hogs. No, I'm sorry. John David played for the Hogs like a walk-on. Lindsay played tight end for the Hogs. His uncle, his grandpa played fullback on the national championship team, played in the pros, and is also one of the biggest. Like there's Walmart and Tyson.
Yeah,
and then there's Jim Lindsay's like right below that. Okay, as far as people donating to the Razorbacks.
Yeah, no, yeah, you hear the Lindsay group a lot.
Well, and from what I've heard, they didn't even try to recruit this kid, and he's going to Minnesota, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the state right now.
Well, here's the thing. We all got, I mean, we're like I said, we grew up in the 90s. You mean we wanted like Nolan to recruit Jason Jennings.
Yeah.
Jason Gilbert. I mean, those are two names. Yeah. Jason Jennings, I think he transferred to Arkansas State, all Sun Belt Center. I think he had a cup of coffee in the NBA. Jason Gilbert, what was he, from Mountain View?
Yeah.
I think I remember, used to every year they'd play a big basketball tournament. All the Faulkner County teams would play it. And they'd bring in teams from outside the state. And I think they were playing Guy or maybe Greenbrier. It was a team that we knew a bunch of the players. But you watch Jason Gilbert get about half court, just like, okay, and just drain them.
Jason Gilbert, every game, they had a center that won the tip almost every game. And he would tip it straight to Jason Gilbert. And Jason Gilbert would take 2 steps past half court and drain it. Almost every game he did that.
I mean, and he looked like he was going to make a good accountant one day.
Yeah.
That was Jason Gilbert.
And that's probably what he's doing now. I don't know.
He didn't fit, and neither one of them fit into what Nolan does.
No.
Is we love him, but I think, if Pittman recruited the kid, knowing that he doesn't fit into what his idea of a quarterback is, he's doing the kid a disservice.
Yeah.
I get it. Us as fans, we don't like it.
Yeah.
You don't like it at all. But I think he's got what year is Lindsay? Is he a senior this year?
He's a senior this year, yeah.
I think he's already got a quarterback that he prefers, KJ Jackson, I believe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, the kid's probably better served going to Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, no one wants to hear that.
Well, the other thing is, if he was going to Auburn, or Ole Miss, then I would be more worried about it. It does kind of worry me that I hope, and I don't know. I hope he showed the kid at least some attention because of who his grandpa is. Because we need that NIL money he can throw at him.
And Pittman knows who this kid is. I mean, there's no way he doesn't. But but if I'm Jack Lindsay, I want him to at least talk to my grandkid.
Yeah.
But but if he's told him the truth, like, hey, look, you just don't fit into what we do.
Yeah.
And I might be wrong, but there's all kinds of reasons. So I'm not immediately just going to bash on him.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Did you find yourself wondering?
Hey,
look at that. What, you get a Groupon?
I don't know what I'm getting.
But anyway, man, but I think we got a lot off our chest this week.
Yeah, man. It's hey, hope's still alive for football. It's going to be an interesting off season. We got to get ready for that. There's going to be transfer portal crap going crazy.
I don't know if we're going to have, it's going to be as crazy for us in the portal this year as it was last year.
I think it depends on what happens, but I think it very well could be. I think getting rid of Enos and whoever they get is going to make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, and and Kenny Godden's got to be, if you're him, you don't get into coaching being like, I'm going to be a wide receivers coach.
No.
You want to be an OC, you want to develop your offense, especially if you're a quarterback. You want to be an offensive coordinator, you want to develop your offense. And And now he's got a chance to show what he can do, because even if it doesn't work out at Arkansas, where he can take the full-time job, but man, if this offense completely turns around, he's got an opportunity to take the job.
Yeah.
It's an audition for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And man, if you're a competitor, and he played quarterback at Ohio State, he's a competitor.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to watch him.
Yep. Well, Clint, a lot of times we end our podcast with what you watching.
Yes.
But I want to throw a couple of things out, suggestions for people to watch in the future, and one that they can watch right now.
Ooh.
And you may have already seen it. Have you seen that True South did a Hot Springs episode?
I did not.
Okay. It's if you like that show True South, it's on the ESPN app. I know there's one place you can watch it. I'm sure like Hulu and some of those you could probably find it. But it's SEC network. They go to like SEC. They don't always go to like say the
Tuscaloosa or
the towns that the college is in, but they'll go to a town where like there's a lot of fans for that school. But they kind of do the history of the town. They'll do restaurants, and they did Hot Springs, which was interesting. They did DeLuca's Pizza and is it DeLuca's or whatever? Anyway, famous pizza place there that
yes, my dog's going crazy.
And then anyway, if you get a chance to watch that, if you like that show, it's a different kind of show, but it's a good show. I love it. And then also my buddy Matt texted me, Matt Sandiford text our little group text that SEC Storied is the November 14th doing a Brandon Burlsworth special called True Character. So they're doing a updated deal about Brandon Burlsworth, talking about True Character. So November 14th, start looking for that on SEC Network for SEC Storied, which they do a good job.
No, that's gonna be great to watch, because I tell you, because I wore 77 eighth grade through high school, through college.
Yeah.
Even when I played that season with the Rhinos, that professional minor league, it was semi. We called it that to make ourselves feel better. It was semi. I wore 77. My senior year was the year that Brandon Burlsworth had died in that wreck. And I wish I would have gone to Mullins and told him, said, look, let's just leave 77 blank this year in honor of Burlsworth.
Yeah.
You put out thanks and none of our players. I thought about it. I didn't do it. Do you want to guess what number I would have chosen to wear if I was not wearing 77?
60.
I would have wore 60 in honor of Robert Branscombe.
That's what I thought.
I mean, I know I would have 100%, but yeah, because Robert, I thought I'm gonna say something that's this is your Holy Snockies moment of the week right here. I thought Robert was just as good as I was, and I think he could have been maybe even more successful than I was at college football, which isn't saying a lot, but he could have got in there and done what I did. He was tough enough to do it.
Yeah, he had good feet.
He had good feet. He was tough enough to do it, for sure.
Yeah.
And college football itself, making it through is not that difficult. You just got to be tough. No, it's pretty hard because you got to be good. But anyway, yeah.
Hey, he could catch too.
Robert, Robert could catch. He had the best hands of all of us.
Yeah.
So there you go. Me stroking Robert Branscome's ego. So,
well, hey, and don't forget, check out Hometown Roofing.
Hometown Roofing, it really do, because if you're in Greenbrier or anywhere in the state of Arkansas, check out Hometown Roofing, because he did my roof for me, did a phenomenal job, and Robert Branscombe was honest, and he'll do you a good job.
That's right.
And he also brings a lot of our guests, a lot of these guests that we get to bring on, like he brought us Andrew Chambly. I think he paid for Kudas. But yeah, so Hometown Roofing, definitely check him out if you ever need anything.
That's right.
And he wasn't a half bad right tackle for the old Greenbrier High School back in 1993.
That's right. Well, folks, thanks for listening, watching, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. like, subscribe, folks.
Share it.
Subscribe, share it, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Let people know about this podcast. We've been doing it a long time, but we need more listeners. And
more listeners. Travis gets tired of listening. He wants to talk to you.
The best way for that to happen is for you to share about it. That's the best way. The only way. Okay. And so, there may be other ways. I hear about ways you can go buy listeners. We're not going to do that, or buy likes or whatever. I'm not going to do that. We just need you to tell folks about it. Say, hey, you like the Razorbacks? Listen to these guys. They talk about it, and hopefully we talk about it and you feel like you're talking about it with your buddies, because that's what we are. We're buddies. We're best friends since 6th grade.
Even you in Germany. I'm your buddy.
That's right. We're buddies.
Buddy.
Let's
get some sauerkraut and a bratwurst.
If we were in better shape, we'd go compete on that TV show Buddy Games.
Yep, but we're not going to do it because number one, I've thought about trying out for American Ninja Warrior. I was looking at the rules. I think if I got through the first section and took a nap.
Yeah.
I took a nap. They wake me up on Tuesday. No, true story, Travis. I know we're trying to wrap it up here. So I've decided, and I'm gonna put it out here. I've decided no more. I'm gonna get back in shape. I might even try to climb back in the wrestling ring again, because I was way too sore after what little I did the other day. So I'm I'm done. So I might do it. But I want to compete jiu-jitsu a little bit more. But I was I went and worked out, and man, I can hardly walk. My calves have been so sore today. I went and got the little jelly letter out and was putting myself through a workout. And I was like, dadgummit.
Yeah.
Why do I do this?
Yeah, it gets harder as we get older, dude, for sure. Hey, folks, thank you once again. We love you. Everybody. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground, so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.